Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sports Insider. I'm Dan Labbe. He is Chris Fedor. NBA Finals Edition. The Cavaliers and Warriors finally going to get things going later tonight, 9 o'clock tip-off, Game 1 of the NBA Finals. We're going to talk to Chris Haynes about that. Then we are going to talk some Browns with Mary Kay Cabot. They continued OTAs this week, and the Indians still kind of go in the right direction.
The who?
Fedor. The Indians.
The who?
I don't know. We're going to talk to Paul Hoynes from Kansas City as well as they wrap up a series there against their division rival. But as promised, joining us via phone is Chris Haynes. Chris, how are you?
Doing all right, guys.
All right, Chris. I know you just have put up a column about a lot of national folks not giving the Cavaliers much of a chance. But, I mean, locally, as you'd expect, I think a lot of folks not giving the Warriors much of a chance. Do you think Cavs fans are maybe taking this Warriors team a little too lightly?
I think so, maybe a little bit. But, what has happened is, like, since I've been here, it's not just, media contingent that's based in Oakland. This is the national people. These are other beat writers for other teams that's here. And overwhelmingly, man, it's just been Warriors. I'm hearing 5 games, 6 games, and a couple of people I won't name, even says a sweep. And so that has been kind of surprising for me to hear because, I have no rooting interest whatsoever. I just think the Cavaliers are going to be able to put up a fight. And I picked the Cavs at 6 based solely on LeBron James, his experience, and just how dialed in he is right now. So I've definitely been taken back a little bit, but just by how everybody just thinks the Warriors just going to run away with this thing.
Chris, yesterday was media day. You were around the Cavs. You were around the Warriors. What's the vibe around the Cavs right now as they get ready for their first NBA Finals since 2007?
They're focused, Fedor. They're tuned in, man. They're in the right mindset, the right frame of mind. I know it's easy to say that before a game, but, if there was ever a look or a vibe that you need to see or feel prior to the game tipping off, the Cavs have that. And I think it all starts from LeBron James, just the way he goes about his business. And, he's informing his players and telling them how they should go about it. And you can tell they're just feeding off LeBron, man. And I really do think these guys are ready. I can give my prediction and say what I think is going to be who's going to win, but ultimately we all don't know. And I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I definitely think they're prepared, and I think they're ready to go.
Chris, we know about Oracle Arena and how crazy that place is, how tough it is to win, but early in this game tonight, at least, could that be an advantage for the Cavaliers? Maybe the Warriors come out a little too amped up. LeBron's been here before. He can kind of take over a game early. Do the Cavs have a little bit of an edge there if the Warriors do come out a little too hyped?
Maybe. LeBron, I'm not one to harp on the experience that much because I do think at the end of the day, it is basketball. And the fact of the matter is they are at home, and they're virtually unbeatable at home. So, I think they do have the edge regardless of how quickly they start off or how slow they start off. Man, this is a tough place. It's one of the top 3 toughest places to play at in this league. So, if people or the so-called experts are predicting, win based on solely off a home court advantage, I can understand why, because this is about as hostile as an environment as it can get.
Chris, one of the big questions with the Cavs, it's been the same thing since the first round against Boston. How do they cope with the injury to Kyrie Irving? How does he cope with the injury that he's dealing with? What can we expect from Kyrie, and what do you think is the biggest challenge for him going into the finals, given the condition that he's in?
Just mental. It's all a mental game with this guy. There's no structural damage from what we've all been told with his knee. It's just a matter of him playing with pain and finding ways where he can still be effective and help the team and not getting down on himself. He's talked about, the last couple of days just about, seeing holes in defense and wanting to make a move, and his body just won't allow him to do it. And you have to understand, when he's saying that, he's also saying that he gets down on himself, like that he can't make that move. It's just so depressing. He feels so defeated. He has to get out of that type of mindset. Yeah, okay, your body's not going to allow you to do that. Now what? What you going to do now? You know what I mean? So what's the next step? How can you be effective? How can you help this team? Nobody wants to hear about, hey, I can't do this. I see this and that, and my body won't let me. All right, forget that. Find a way to get the job done. because at this point, at this stage of the season, everybody's banged up. I spoke with Andrew Bogut last night, and he basically told me how he was tired of hearing about Kyrie Irving's knee. And he said everybody's going through contusions, arthritis, all these type of pains. He don't want to hear about it. So that's what Kyrie Irving has to get to that point within his mentality to say, hey, I may be limited, but I'm a superstar in my own right, and I'm somehow, some way, I'm going to go out there and help my team win.
So that being said, Chris, what's a reasonable expectation for Kyrie Irving in this series?
You know what? It's just about, I think he can still give you 20 a night. It's going to have to be on an efficient basis because I don't think you can ask too much of him. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this as well too. Let me just throw this out there. I haven't written this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie and Cavs are milking this injury a little bit more than what it should be. You know what I mean? Because, Kyrie is a guy, even throughout the season, man, he is real guarded when it comes to divulging his injuries and even talking about injuries. And so now, all of a sudden, he's talking about it every day. And I understand we're asking about it every day. But Kyrie can simply hey, man, I'm all right. I'm going to play. Leave it at that. But he's been much more open about talking about this injury. Like they're trying to set the Warriors up. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying that's what's happening. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little bit more healthier than what they're letting on. And so I think what's reasonable, I think he can still go out there and give you 20 a night. Because when you play with LeBron, he simplifies things so much for you.
Chris, so many people, when they talk about the Golden State Warriors, they talk about the Splash Brothers with Stephen Curry, the league MVP, and Klay Thompson, the second leading scorer. But give me another guy on Golden State that you think could have a big impact in this series.
It's going to answer, but Draymond Green, man. And the reason I say him, because he's a dual threat person. He's somebody that can score, rebound, and be a playmaker. And one thing about Draymond, when he has that matchup against Tristan Thompson, whoever's guarding him, once he's hitting that three-point shot, then that's going to force Tristan to have to close out on him, and that's just going to open up the lane for Draymond Green to either score for himself or make plays for other people, because big men aren't accustomed. They're not used to going out there, having a contest out there on the three-point line. So now if you got a guy who you have to go out there and contest, and then somebody who could put it on the floor and make plays, and that's just going to make him that much dangerous. So I think Draymond Green, if his three-point shot is going in to keep the defense honest, I think he could be a tremendous problem for the Cavs.
All right, Chris, thanks for the time.
Take care, guys.
All right, that is Chris Haynes, our Cavaliers beat reporter. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Mary Kay Cabot talking Browns.